Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go! Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula bore formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked?
I believe that worked. Fernando Valencia, what say you?
Hey, what say me is I say this is Sean Callaghan. We're having a technical glitch for a second, but Gina Ricci, why don't we start introducing some of these 5 folks? Then we'll drop in with the co-host and we'll drop in on what we're doing here.
That sounds wonderful. All right. So first joining us, Brian Daly from Clinton, right? Is it Clifton or Clifton? Clinton or Clifton?
Clinton, New Jersey.
Clinton. You said it. And Brian from Clinton, owner, founder, premier Vocational Experts LLC, specializing in employability evaluations and life care planning for documenting case damages and personal injury. Please, everyone join me in welcoming Brian Daly to The Real Raw.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
We are doing very well. Fernand's got a good speaker system. And what's your fun fact, my friend?
My fun fact. I'm a hunter and I ride a motorcycle. Most people don't expect this from me.
Beautiful. And what do you like to hunt?
Deer.
Very, very nice. And where's your favorite hunting site?
Hunting site.
Your hunting area. Like where do you hunt?
Daly Farm.
Ooh, and where's that?
It's in Hardin County, New Jersey.
Well, welcome to the party, my friend. Thanks for being here. Gina, who else do we have?
Next, joining us as a judge, one participant in the multiverse. So next up from Warren, we have Connor, Director of Marketing and Development, New Jersey Institute for Pain Relief, overseeing 12 locations, each with several doctors and working with a lot of PI attorneys all up and down New Jersey. He's also Sean Callaghan. You're gonna love this. And I think Connor might like to be in the participant seat. So let's see. He's formerly a Division I wrestler. So everyone join me in welcoming Connor Burkert to The Real Raw.
Connor, welcome to the party. And where'd you wrestle?
I wrestled at Hofstra University.
Nice. And where'd you wrestle in high school?
I wrestled at St. Peter's Preparatory in Jersey City.
St. Peter's Preparatory in Jersey City, the school of many dear friends and colleagues in many ways, including, God rest his soul, my Uncle Jimmy, was a St. Peter's alum. I played baseball at Columbia University with John DeRose, who was a St. Peter's alum as well. So Hudson County is in the building. Congratulations on all that success. And what's your fun fact?
My fun fact is that I'm a twin brother. We went to the same high school and we went to the same college and wrestled on the same Division I team together.
Woof!
And wrestled back to back at 141 and 149.
So welcome to Connor, and congratulations on all that you're up to.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Gina, I'm sir.
Next, joining us from Kearney, New Jersey. First of all, she has the coolest name, which I'll tell you in a minute. She's an associate attorney with Ziegler, Resnick, and Epstein, member of the New Jersey Bar, New Jersey District Court, New Jersey Bar Young Lawyers Division, Family Section, LGBT Rights Section, and the Bergen County Bar. Served as an early settlement panel member and matrimonial mediation panel member, and was previously an associate at Argento Family Law. Please, everyone, join me in welcoming Savvy Dara to The Real Raw.
Savvy, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
We are doing well. And what is your fun fact, please?
I'm working on my pilot's license for helicopters specifically. I'm pretty close to the end, actually. Yeah.
That is super fun. And what do you have to do to still complete? Like, what's the end of getting your pilot's license?
I have to practice flying from airport to airport instead of just doing loops around one single airport, and I have to take a written exam.
So Gina, let's go. So who is next here? And welcome, Savvy. What is happening?
Next, from Charlottesville, North Carolina, she's the Director of Alliances for Fastcase, offering a spectrum of legal software tools to help professionals with more efficient solutions in the law industry, assisting and supporting bar associations and law firms all over the country. So please, everyone, join me in welcoming Lisa Smith Crissey to The Real Raw.
What's up, Lisa? Lisa, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
All right.
And if you think that Charlottesville is actually in Virginia and not in North Carolina, you would be right.
Ooh,
oh,
very interesting. Okay, so besides that dynamic, what is your fun fact, please?
My fun fact is my travels within the U.S. have taken me to 47 states, so only 3 to go.
And what are those 3?
North Dakota, Wisconsin, and Minnesota.
Ooh. I'm sensing a collective coldness in those states that may or may not have something to do with this. And so what's the mission, vision, purpose in the world? Why 47 states?
It's kind of just happened. It's where life has taken me over the years.
Well, love it and appreciate it. And thank you so much for being here today. We're gonna have some fun. Gina, who we got?
Next, joining us from Brooklyn, although you would never be able to tell that with his accent, partner and owner at Weber Law, 40 years of consumer and commercial collections, and previously a bank attorney. Please, everyone, join me in welcoming Howard Weber to The Real Raw.
Hi, y'all.
How are you, Howard?
Y'all, where are you
good,
really from, Weber?
Brooklyn.
Y'all, they don't say y'all in Brooklyn. Don't they say that you
Well,
guys?
I'm from South Brooklyn.
Is that considered the South?
It is. It is. So Howard, thank you so much for being here. And what is your fun fact, my friend, besides the fact that you're from South Brooklyn and say y'all?
Actually, I had 2 fun facts that I was deciding which one to do. But then after I heard Lisa, I immediately remembered a 3rd one. So I'm going to use that. When I was in college, I hitchhiked over 4,000 miles throughout the West, and good experiences, bad experiences, working on the book. But it was quite an adventure, and unfortunately, nobody today would be in their right mind if they did it. But it was different times back then.
Howard, this is an important question though, since you said you were 4,000 miles in the West. Was Texas included in that West or not included in that West? Because there's a big debate on whether Texas is the South or the West.
No.
It was not included.
It was not included.
No, thanks for being here, Howard. Gina, we got rattlesnakes.
Joining us next, not sure where he's from, but we're going to find out. President of PCS LLC, building to scale, investor, advisor, Liberty, Fox Technologies, and a partner at CYBIR. We'll find out what that is. Please join me, everyone, in welcoming Anthony Mongeluzo to The Real Raw.
He is not Italian.
No. He's never eaten at Gina Riccio's house for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
So Anthony, how are you?
I'm good. As you can see, I'm in the car. My daughter's softball championship is today. So right after the show here, we're jumping out, we're changing, and we're going in there.
Congratulations. What softball championship? What age group? What's happening?
She's 7 years old, so I think they all kind of make the championship. But last game, and I always loved them. My parents were at my sport, so I make sure I go to everything that she's going to.
Brother, that is awesome. And what is your daughter's first name?
Take two. My 7-year-old is Allie, and my 5-year-old is Ashley. So Allie's the one playing today.
So congratulations on being there for them and doing the things, Anthony. And thanks for being here with us.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Gina.
Next up, he's a counsel in private equity at Goodwin, corporate attorney with law firm and in-house experience in M&A and finance, and previously at Paul Weiss, Rifkind, Wharton, and Garrison. Please, everyone, join me in welcoming Franck Chintoya to The Real Raw.
Good afternoon, everyone.
How are you? And what's your fun fact, please, Frank?
Good to be here. Fun fact would be that I speak French as my first language.
So thank you, Gina. So what are we doing here? We're playing with, we have a little bit of fun. Introduce everybody. What's that?
Don't forget me.
Forget you?
Yeah.
I'm not going to forget you.
Okay.
How would I ever forget you?
Well, because we had technical difficulties and I wasn't here at the beginning. And
you missed your intro.
I missed my intro. Is that right?
Yes.
All right.
True.
So can I have the day off then?
Yes.
All right. Bye.
So what we're here to do is play the superpower of influence. Our marketing, our selling, our managing, our leading, recruiting, fundraising, for profit, not for profit, is all controlled by the superpower of influence, what we do with it, and how we get ourselves to use it. But we're not talking about any influence, not pitching, hooking, closing. This isn't boiler room, Bella. This is integrous influence. What does it look like when we are transparent, we're adding more value than we take, and we avoid all the complexities and intricacies of what we believe to be problems? And a lot of attorneys, accountants, financial service providers, other professionals that service those industries, we struggle with the ask. It becomes complicated. All sorts of energy comes up. So we explore that here, and that's what we do. And this woman seated to my right, she happens to be an expert in this area. No joke. 8 years old, she was selling crafts on her front lawn. I was hiding from my family and not want to talk to anybody at 8, and she's selling stuff. At 19, she became a 7-figure earner in the space of network marketing. Could you think of something more challenging to do in sales? I don't think so. Then she became the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada at the age of 24. First woman ever to do it, youngest person ever to do it. Now, and then she went on to scaling businesses and training sales teams, marketing dynamics, all the things. In fact, in 2019, every sales team she worked with doubled their sales. Now, co-host The Real Raw, still coaching, training people in the space of business acceleration. Actually, my boss, the one and only Bella Rita. Let's welcome Bella. Aside from the fact that you're my boss, what's your fun fact?
Ooh, my fun fact today is I got to see the world's greatest speaker yesterday speak at a Jewish conference, and he's not Jewish.
That's unbelievable. And what the heck was that guy doing there?
I don't know what he's doing, but he's pretty hot.
No, what Bella's talking to is we talked about unity, inclusion, and all sorts of beautiful topics. I have the privilege on speaking on diversity inclusion at Disney, in fact. And yesterday there was a an Orthodox Business Jewish Summit that I was privileged and honored to be a speaker at. And there was some resistance and friction from some of the folks in and around it, and it went unbelievably well.
The only non-Jewish speaker that was there.
Yeah, so we had a lot of fun, and we really enjoyed it in a beautiful way. And so what if we could all come together and align on all sorts of things? And we rose above the idea that there's a left or a right. We rose above the idea that there's all this division and craziness. And we actually came into alignment that 99% of people want the same things. They want to build their business. They want to have everybody that they love and care about be safe. We want to include people, not exclude people. And I truly believe that's the heart of people. And so thanks for being here today. That's what the show is about. In addition to growing and scaling our business, Gina Ricci, mwah, we love you. And let's do the things.
Let's do the things.
Thanks. Bye, everyone. Have fun.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Who's going first?
Let's start with Connor.
Connor. What was your favorite pinning combination, Connor?
Probably a sweep single to a dump.
Nice.
For being honest.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry?
Feet to back, swing single right to your back.
Nice. I had the privilege of wrestling in high school for Stan Woods. He was the winningest wrestling coach in the history of the state of New Jersey. He just retired. I wrestled for Emerson High School. So we were not the size of St. Peter's, and but we did wrestle Bergen Catholic and St. Joe's a lot of years back in the day. So love it. Love what you did.
Connor, do you know what Elshon had the privilege of doing?
I do not.
Oh my God. Connor, do not listen to a word she says. Cover your eyes, because her nose is going to hit you.
He had the honor and privilege to lose a wrestling match to yours truly on Necker Island.
Yeah, there's a lot more to the story, Connor. Thank you.
There's
very
a lot
much.
more to the story, but he still lost. He could tell you whatever version of the story that he wants, but this wrestler who played at Emerson and worked with the most winningest coach and wrestled still got out wrestled by me. That's a true fact, Connor.
Connor, in integrity, she did win. Much more complicated.
He wants to tell a whole story just to make himself look better, but the fact remains is I won. But let's continue the show. We have a show to do.
All right, Connor, who would you like Bella to be? Going from hello to yes. Ideal client, it could be strategic partnership. Heck, it could be a blown call in a wrestling match, and you're trying to convince the judge to make the right call. Whatever you want, that's who Bella will be in 3 minutes. Who would you like Bella to role play as?
I didn't actually have a chance to think about this because I thought I was going to be a judge instead of a participant. So give me 2 seconds. Let me come up with a scenario, and then we could dive into it. What about just be a gatekeeper? Actually, we can make.
Oh, I like being a gatekeeper.
Be a gatekeeper that I'm trying to get past to set a meeting for.
And what type of company?
It could be any type of company.
What, law firm, accounting firm, just general?
No, law firm. Law firm's fine.
Here we go. Take us in, gatekeeper.
All right. Caligari Law, this is Bella Verita.
Hi, Bella. How are you? How's everything going today?
Super busy. What can I do for you?
Yeah, wonderful. I totally understand that you're busy, and I don't want to take up too much of your time today. But my name is Connor Burkert. I work with the New Jersey Institute for Pain Relief, and I'm currently our director of marketing. And I wanted to give you a call down because I would love to set up a lunch with Mr. Caligari in these upcoming weeks.
I am sure you would, Connor, but Mr. Caligari is very, very busy. And I don't know that we can get lunch in. We might be able to get lunch in like 2025 or something.
Yeah, understood. I'm sure that he's very busy in these upcoming weeks. But what I want to do is, even if he doesn't have any time for lunch, I'd love to come down to the office and kind of just drop off some information. I'm currently working with the New Jersey Institute for Pain Relief. And what we do is we're a multidisciplinary practice that handle everything from orthopedic spine, orthopedic sport, chiropractic, physical therapy, osteopathic medicine, pain management.
I think we have a center like this that we already work with.
Yeah, totally understood. But what you want to know what? I feel like I actually get that answer a lot. But what I wanted to do is be able to at least come down, drop off the information regarding our doctors, even send an email to introduce our doctors, kind of their specialties, what they've been able to do, and how they've been actually able to help a lot of, their patients live pain-free on a continuous basis.
Sure. If you want to bring down some information, no problem.
All right, wonderful. What time would work best for you guys?
We're here 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Okay, wonderful. I'll be in your area on Tuesday. What's your Starbucks order for Tuesday morning?
I actually don't drink coffee, but you can just
drink smoothies, donuts. What else can I bring you down? I'd love to bring you your breakfast.
Nothing I can think of at the moment, but just bring the stuff down, anything that you want to share with the office, and I'll be happy to pass it along.
Wonderful. I look forward to seeing you then.
All righty. Have a great day.
You as well.
Nice
Bye-bye.
work, Connor. We'll see what the judges have to say in a moment. Who's up next?
Next up, we have Brian.
Brian, who would you like Bella to be?
I guess I'm caught a little flat-footed here. I don't think I understood that this was the process, but that's okay.
Brian, so all we're talking about, right, is in everything that we do, we seek yeses, right? So we seek yeses from in every facet, from people to work with us, to recruit, to follow our leadership and management, to buy our services. We seek yes. So all we're doing is having a little bit of fun with Bella being whomever you'd be seeking a yes from. She could be an ideal client. She could be a person working for you. She could be a potential strategic partnership that's set up. Any yes that would matter to you in the world. It doesn't have to be an ultimate yes like Connor did. It could be just a yes for a longer meeting and conversation about a topic.
It's funny because usually it's the other way around with me, but that's okay. And
okay, meaning what the other way around in what way?
Well, in my industry, I often have people calling me saying, "Hey, I need your help."
Cool. And what is it that they need your help typically with? Like, what's the most common scenario?
They've got an injured individual and they either need an earning capacity evaluation or a life care plan written, either to document damages or to mitigate those damages.
Cool. How about so in those situations, how about this? You're attempting two ideas. One, that you're defending your report in a settlement conference and you're speaking to the mediator, who's Bella. That could be one possibility. A second, it could be and whatever you want. Another possibility would be that you're looking to book a speaking engagement in front of a group to talk about why your approach to calculating damages is so proficient and powerful, and how you would help and serve attorneys and others in the group, and how to think about damage reports and errors they may be making with some of the experts that they're working with. Either of those two grab you?
We could go the second route. That might work.
All right. So you are the gatekeeper at our next event for lawyers.
So can you give me just some like things I would say, because I don't know.
You just want to bring on a speaker that's going to impress the lawyers, and actually you don't even care about your job that much, right? And you just want to impress the lawyers and have a good speaker, and you have no idea what the hell the guy's talking about.
Okay.
All right. Take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. This is Brian Daly. I'm calling from Premier Vocational Experts, and I'm reaching out because I've been asked to talk to the attorneys about documenting damages and how to assist them in their cases, how to improve the damages they're trying to document.
God, and what'd you say your name was again?
My name is Brian Daly.
Brian, I think I've heard of you. And so what is it that you, so obviously you want to come speak to my group. What value do you think that you could create for them?
To help them when they're speaking to their experts, discuss the needs that they have, how to better close their cases, how to optimize the damages that they're seeking with their clients.
Got it. Okay. And well, that seems to make sense. Any questions that you have for me?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. All right. So I will take your information. I'll put it in front of our panel and we'll see if we can have you out for the next event.
Thank you very much. I look forward to hearing from you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Bill, you're that easy on people coming to speak at our events? What is happening? No. Brian, good stuff. So let's go to the judges for a sec. So please.
So what this looks like, everyone, is 30 seconds of feedback for Connor or Brian, something that they did absolutely great, and then something that maybe they could optimize on, and then a score of 1 to 10. 1 being you would rather go to the dentist and get a root canal than have a longer conversation. 5 being like, if they brought you some like donuts and coffee, like Connor suggested, you would definitely have a meeting with them. Or 10 being like you would rent out an entire fine dining Italian restaurant just to have an exclusive chef meal with this person. So let's start, just because I like her name, let's start with Miss Savvy. How about Savvy? Your savvy 30 seconds of feedback for Connor.
Sure. Well, I just want to say that I already decided I'm going to be the Paula Abdul of the group, because I just, she was always so sweet and kind and encouraging to people. So what I liked about Connor's presentation is I thought offering food right off the bat and offering a meal was a really great idea, because that's how people get in the door at my firm. It's just like, we don't want a PowerPoint presentation or to be spoken at just randomly in the middle of the day, but bringing salads and sandwiches and maybe some cookies from the local shop. Great idea.
Would salads work for you, Sean? Salad, if someone brought a salad for you, would that interest you?
No, but I'm loving Savvy's cookies and sandwiches. And what kind of cookies do you prefer, Savvy?
I haven't thought about it that much, but guns to my head, macadamia nut.
Ooh, that's a deep.
Yeah.
And so, Savvy, what is your score? And Connor, this is good. Now you know you can get in the door with cookies. So, Savvy, what is your score for Connor?
I think he should have asked more of what your needs were as the prospective customer and offered alternatives, because you did say you had your own company that you were already working with for the thing that he did. So maybe if he said, I would love to speak with me more to see if we could offer a different price point or different options or different availability, or just a second opinion if your regular company that you typically work with isn't meeting your expectations or your needs every time. So I would give Connor an 8.
An 8.
Paula
Awesome.
Abdul is in the house.
Yes. All right, let's go with Howard. Howard, your 30 seconds of feedback for Brian.
Oh, I was going to talk about Connor, but okay.
Switching it up. Got to keep everybody on their toes.
No problem. I'm cutting Brian a break because I don't think he was ready for the scenario. I wouldn't have been if I was a participant. But I thought that once the situation was thrown into his lap, he basically did the best that he could, which was to put together some type of cogent conversation where he could point out how he might be a benefit to the business, and did it in a very human and friendly way. I didn't think he was pushy. I thought his tone was good. And I would definitely have explored further in the conversation what he has to offer and to clarify it a bit.
Beautiful. And so your score for Brian is?
I would give him a 7.
A 7. Awesome.
Thanks, Howard.
Let's go with Anthony. Anthony, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Connor?
So I thought overall it was pretty good. For being an IT guy and for being Italian, I'm kind of quick to the point. So I thought it was a little too long-winded on the pitching side. That being said, I did think the food was great. I thought it was even a little Starbucks line at the end once he got the win. So yeah, I would still give it. I'm gonna go 7.5.
7.5. Fantastic. Beautiful. And let's go, Frank. Your 30 seconds of feedback for Brian.
Yeah, I think similarly, Brian was sort of thrown to a spot. I think the one thing that I noticed with Connor is that maybe Brian could have done a little bit better is pivoting quicker around the nose. I think he got there, but maybe from not knowing that he was going to be within the exercises, it just took me half a second to pick it up. But overall, I would give Brian a 7.5.
Beautiful. Awesome. And then rounding it out with Lisa, since we got an odd number today, we're going to go like 15 seconds of feedback for Connor and a score, 15 seconds for Brian and a score. So Lisa, take us home. Let's start with Connor.
Start with Connor. Connor, I like the fact that he didn't take no. He kind of rolled with it and kept trying, kept coming back and trying. It's smart to bring some Starbucks or whatever, because even if they don't remember your name or exactly what you offer, they'll say, like, why don't we call the Starbucks guy? They'll like, it'll stick with them. They'll remember. So even if they don't need you today, they might remember you long term.
Beautiful.
I would give Connor an 8.
And your score for Connor was?
8.
8. Awesome. And then for Brian.
So Brian, I can sympathize. This is a different format, and I understand that you weren't coming into it exactly knowing what was going on, but that's kind of symbolic of business, right? You don't always know exactly where your pitch is coming from or when you're going to need to be ready to roll. So I appreciate that you rolled with it. I would suggest like kind of finding a way to differentiate your doctors from the other doctors that you're going up against, the sources that you have. But I would give Brian a 6.
A 6. Awesome. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa. So what's going to happen now? Tell them what you do to me every day.
So this is the time in the show. See, Brian, Brian, Connor, you both came here. Maybe you weren't fully prepared for the show and kind of got thrown into this hot seat. So now we get to have a little reverse role play and someone gets to put Sean on the hot seat. And I'm thinking, since Brian was kind of like thrown in, maybe Brian, you have a scenario that you would like to see Sean go from hello to yes on. It can be anything.
Or he can decide it.
Yeah. I was going to get there. And so it can be anything that you would like to see Sean go from hello to yes. And you can think of a scenario, or you can sign it to someone else, or we can all collaborate on a scenario. As long as it is integrous, he is the person that is going to be going from hello to yes with someone here on anything. So Brian, do you have anything you'd like to put? Now this is the deal, Brian, too. It can't be easy. It can't be like, getting someone to like go to a movie or something. It's gotta be like challenging, something like getting past the gatekeeper or booking a speaking event, or he's been President Trump or President Biden. Brian had to convince a very conservative New Jersey attorney on why he should go to Burning Man. So any scenario come up for you, or would you like to pass it to someone else?
I'll pass it on, I think.
Okay. Anybody have a, what's that? So how about Connor? Do you have a scenario? How about getting past the gatekeeper?
Yeah, you know what? We could do it reverse. Absolutely.
Everybody wants to get past the gatekeeper, right?
And any type of sales role, that's the first thing. And it starts with just being friendly, right? I think just getting on in and having a little enthusiasm. So yeah, we could do that.
An innovation.
Does anybody feel more strongly about another scenario?
Does anybody else feel any more strongly about another scenario?
How about Sean convincing his wife to let him fly a helicopter?
Ooh, or my significant other happens.
Or significant other, I apologize.
Yeah, no, all good. Which is you.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm blind, so that'll be fun. So let's do it, and we'll do the gatekeeper as well. So how about we do two quick ones?
Okay.
All right. So who created that beautiful scenario?
Which one?
The helicopter. Connor was the gatekeeper. Brian. Oh, Brian did?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. So Brian, who would you like to be stepping into the role of my significant other, which happens to be Bella? But who would you like to play Bella? One of the participants. You could play Bella, or somebody else you can assign it to.
How about Savvy?
All
right, Savvy, you up for it?
Savvy, who flies helicopter? You gotta let the blind man talk you into flying, letting him fly.
Yep. So Bella, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It was really fun on the Real Raw today, and I couldn't believe what an extraordinary group it was. We've done more than 3,000 shows. 500 shows, 3,000 people, awesome folks. But what about that Savvy? Like, you don't meet a person who flies helicopters all the time. What'd you think of her?
She was nice. She seemed like she was figuring things out, but gosh, that's so dangerous. She should probably get another hobby. It's just too dangerous. There's no reason for it.
It is. It totally dangerous, for sure. But can I ask you a quick question? Right. I know we'll get a couple minutes before we have to jump and move on to another Zoom call. But Bella, what do you think is the most powerful and important part of life for you? I mean that, like, in a relationship, in life, like, what do you really think makes it go and makes it just work?
Autonomy and getting out there and exploring new things and having choices and having the support of my significant other to make those choices and make those explorations.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Incredible. And can I ask you this? When, obviously I'm blind, and when I taught you to surf and when I taught you to ski, how did that feel for you? Like, what was there for you in your heart and meant the most for you about those moments?
It symbolized a new gateway to freedom, because nobody can bother you on your cell phone or bother you with work email when you're out in the middle of the ocean and in the middle of a wave. So I really appreciated that.
Yeah, and one of the most powerful moments that I remember about all the beautiful things that we've done was when we were in Long Beach Island and you were paddling out through massive and insane waves before we were in a relationship. And there was this moment when you're like, I got this. And wave after wave kept slamming into you. And I couldn't believe that you didn't get upset, didn't freak out. And not only that, but you were so committed to like making the breakthrough. And you did. And now you surf. And I just, that moment meant so much to me. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. So would it be okay if I just shared in the final minute or so a quick thought that I have about today, about Savvy and some of the things going on?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. What I would appreciate, and I know I'm not expecting you to say yes in this moment, but hold space for a longer conversation, possibly. Talk about crazy, insane thought that I have. I would love to learn to fly a helicopter. And you know the work that we do for blindness in the world, and you know how we're recreating and disrupting what blindness means. I ski, I scuba dive, I run with the bulls. I've done all these, you know, quite extreme things, surfing in crazy tropical storms and the things that we've done. I would love to go down this path of piloting a helicopter. My understanding is there's ways to do it. I don't know if I could get fully licensed, but I do think that we would be able to create something. And I think it would be such a stand for people, freedom and possibility. I know it sounds crazy, but I would truly appreciate if we could have a meaningful conversation about it. And if you have an open-minded heart, how does that resonate for you or not?
I will hold space for that conversation. Just come back to me with a plan and make sure you look into instructors who have a good safety record and a lot of experience, please. That's important to me.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to talk to our new friend Savvy and some of our other dear friends. And I'm going to come back to you with that plan. So Bella, thank you so much. It means the world to me.
Thank you.
At a roll, Savvy, how'd we do?
I think we did well, but I think we should ask the other judges.
Yes. Well, how did we do, Bella?
I would probably go up in a helicopter with you.
Well, thank you. Brian, how did you feel about that scenario?
I thought it was great that you just left it to open to the possibility of a future discussion. It wasn't like a, hey, I'm going in for the kill and you have to tell me right now. It was just like, can we just explore this further? Are you open to this concept?
No. Well, thank you for that, Brian. And Brian, by the way, I just want to acknowledge your work in the world and how vitally important it is, because people may not be fully present to it. But I had the privilege of having 2 top 100 national jury verdicts, both in business cases. And in that second business case, we were a week away with one of the most strict and incredible federal judges in America, Judge Campbell in Phoenix, Arizona, federal district court judge. And we had no damage report. And we had heinous things that happened to our client. And it was a super complicated case that we had litigated in state court. We had new claims in federal court. And we found someone that, I mean, in a beautiful, ingenious Hail Mary approach, created a damage approach that got our client $27 million. It's still the top jury verdict the last decade plus, but folks may not be like fully present to how different people who work on economic damages can be and the work that they do. So I just want to acknowledge that beautiful work and say thank you.
Well, congratulations. I don't do the economic of it. I actually do the vocational aspect, which is even different.
Oh, absolutely understood. So the beautiful distinction. In any work with an expert, right? Economic damages are calculated off of vocational reports and personal injury cases. So if there's any holes, there's any leakage, any dynamics, then you're gonna have a completely different read. And let me ask you this question, Brian. Do you frequently see holes in damage reports, vocational damage reports that you look at and go, oh my goodness, like, wow, they're missing things and there's so much more that can be done. What say you?
Absolutely, even especially in life care planning too.
Yeah,
which is a whole nother aspect of the damage circuit, I guess.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all that. Yeah. Thank you for all that you do and standing for people. And how was your time with us here today, Brian?
Wonderful, and I'm sure you'll be up in that helicopter before you know it.
Well, thank you for creating that scenario. Awesome job.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having me.
you. Thank you. And for the courage to step into the participant seat. Connor, great to have you here. Love the former wrestler dynamic, or maybe still wrestler, but how was your time with us here today?
Well, wonderful. Yeah, I was just making myself was unmuted. Wonderful. I really appreciate and very grateful to have the opportunity to be around such influential people in such different markets. And thank you. I really appreciate being able to attend today.
Yeah, and what's the name of the healthcare facility that you work with?
Yeah, absolutely. We are the New Jersey Institute for Pain Relief.
Okay, and so I want to fulfill our promise. So you're the gatekeeper. I'm Connor. Your name is Joe, the gatekeeper, please. Ring, ring.
Hi, how are you? This is Connor speaking. Or I'm sorry, I'm Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. All right. Hi, I'm Joe. How are you?
Hey, Joe. I'm doing well. My name is Connor. Listen, I'm sure you're super busy. This is not a cold call. It's not a cold call, but it's something that you may find interesting. Do you have 30 seconds?
Yeah, absolutely. What's going on?
Hey, thanks. I really appreciate it. So, Joe, I'm with the New Jersey Institute for Pain. I know that you guys are a personal injury firm. You do a lot of great work out there. I am sure you get these phone calls all the time. If you'll give me another minute, I'll explain to you why we approach things differently, and I'm not asking for any referrals. What I would love to do is explain to you how I think we can help you generate business and work by doing a couple different things together. Is that interesting, do you think, to the firm? I know you're the person answering the phone. I'm not sure if you're involved in business development, but if you are, does that resonate? If not, do you think it would resonate with people to actually get a call from someone who for free wants to help you guys generate business?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that sounds really good. Unfortunately, I'm actually not the person that's in charge to make those decisions, but that's definitely something that I can bring to the attention of my boss.
Yeah. And can I ask who that is? Like, who's in charge of making the decisions about whether or not we have a conversation?
Yeah, that would be Dr. Pat.
Oh, awesome. Well, super happy to talk Dr. Pat for sure. Can I ask you this question real quick? Is there any possibility of talking to Dr. Pat for 60 seconds or getting an opportunity and time to come in and talk to him? And Joe, I stake my reputation on it. I'm not just going to ask for referrals. I'm going to make introductions and do things that'll be valuable to the practice. I promise. So is Dr. Pat available, or is there a time I could come on in and say hello to everybody?
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not available right at this second as he stepped out of the office, but I'm sure that I know he is in, 9 to 5 Tuesday, the rest of the week, Tuesday through Friday. So I'm sure if you popped in one of those days, that also would probably be great. What time were you thinking?
Could you tell me? I'd love to bring some food. I don't know if breakfast is better, lunch is better, something that would make sense for Dr. Pat and of course yourself and anybody else in the practice, and make sure it's the right time and the right food. So what will be best for you?
Yeah, probably towards the end of the day, later in the week, Thursday or Friday.
Beautiful. How about is like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock? Like, is there a break time Dr. Pat hasn't seen patients?
Yeah, I think between 1 and 2 o'clock would be perfect.
Right, we'll be there. And how did this call feel for you? Do you feel like it was a meaningful, positive use of your time, or no?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I really appreciate it. And I think all the things you brought up, I'm very excited to, let him know when he comes back and put that on his calendar to let him know that you're coming in.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I'll see you then. And I assure you it's going to be a good meeting. Dr. Pat's going to be supportive of your decision to put me through. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Look forward to seeing you then.
All right. Awesome job, Joe. Thank you. At a roll.
There's no one that does that better than you. It's so good.
All right, Connor, how did you feel about that?
Good. You want to know? Awesome. I love seeing different approaches from different people and how they're able to get past just gatekeepers in general. So loved the approach, loved the tenacity and just the fulfillment of questions, the way that you were able to direct them in different manners and really continue to bring the conversation full circle. So, just continuing to learn. And I think, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Connor, awesome job. And listen, for anybody who's committed to mastering anything, former athletes, former people in theater, former people in band, people committed to mastery can cause massive acceleration. And with what you've done in your wrestling career, you are obviously committed to mastery. And what we're talking about here is a superpower that changes leadership, economics, all the beautiful things. So thanks for being here today and jumping into the participant seat.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me.
Awesome. Lisa, thank you for jumping into the judge's seat. And how was your time with us on the Real Raw?
It was interesting. It's unlike I think any other podcast out there.
I would hope so. That's what we're shooting for. And what resonated for you, Lisa?
Just the approach that you took with the helicopter scenario, that really resonated with me in terms of not really kind of head-on addressing flying blind, as it were, but, you know, like talking about past successes and building up to it.
Oh, beautiful. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for being here today and for your contributions and your energy. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
And Savvy, thank you for jumping into the seat of Bella. That's the tough seat to sit in, right? It's a tough seat to sit next to sometimes too. So Savvy,
I heard that.
She didn't hear that. Savvy, thank you so much again. How was your time with us in the railroad?
It was educational, and I loosened up a bit after the beginning because I didn't know what this was, but I did enjoy it, and I thank you for inviting me to do this.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you very much. And literally more than 3,000 people have been on the show. So thank you for joining that grouping. We've had more than 525 shows so far with people all across the country in every walk of life, professional athletes to professionals like yourselves. It's been a remarkable journey since COVID began. Why don't you ask a few fine folks what they was present?
Howard, how was your time today?
It was interesting. It wasn't what I expected. I think it's less applicable to professional services than it is, you know, for people who are selling a product. For me, I need to kind of present as somebody who can be trusted and who is knowledgeable in order to assist my clients. And, you know, while I appreciated all the different approaches that people do from different businesses, since I've been on the receiving end of them for a number of years, I thought that the points that were made and the you know, the mock phone calls would have been of great help to people who do that for a living.
Right. Howard, and what is it that your best yes is? So your ideal client is who?
My ideal client, I call myself the family doctor for small businesses. I like to establish a relationship with people who are getting into a business, and then as their legal needs expand, be able to accommodate them in a variety of, you know, different legal needs. A lot of my clients have been with me for a long time, and it's very helpful to me because I know their expectations, I know their modus operandi, and it makes it a much better relationship to accomplish what their needs are.
Beautiful. So how about, can we just play something real quick? So Howard, I'm sorry, I'll be Howard. And how about your Mary or Joe? Hey, Joe, thanks so much for calling. This is Howard. And you were referred to me by one of my dear clients for 2 decades, the Rothsteins, and I'm super grateful for the opportunity to talk to you. So how you doing today, Joe?
Good, good. I have a lot of questions. I hope you can help me.
Yeah, please, just fire away. I'm here to support.
I'm thinking of opening up a beauty parlor in New Jersey, and I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, so
I'm going to need some guidance.
Yeah, I love it. May I ask you a couple quick questions first, Joe? Would that be okay?
Sure.
Yeah. So Joe, what's life about for you? You know, I'm so excited for you that you're considering an entrepreneurial venture in an area you don't have a lot of experience. But what are your goals in life? Like, what are you looking to do?
I'm looking to support my family. I'm looking to engage in something that stimulates me intellectually and fulfills, you know, my need to be helpful and engage people.
Yeah, so extraordinary. And I know you only had about 3 minutes for this call initially to, you know, see if there's a little bit of alignment. What comes up for me, Joe, if it's okay, I could share it, that I'd love to have a 30-minute conversation with you, complimentary on me. And what I love to evaluate in that conversation, Joe, is why you're doing this. I get to support your family and do the things. Every business is the same and every business is different. I've been doing this for decades, and I've seen so many people have such beautiful success. And I've seen so many people get terribly hurt. And sometimes we have a conversation with people about business that could be super exciting, and we could be pulled into it and like, yeah, let's go. And it could be the right decision, and sometimes not. So my first job that I would love to do in this 30-minute conversation is certainly not to tell you what to do with your life, but to explore a little bit whether this truly makes sense for you. I could easily, Joe, take your money. I could say, yes, come on in and we're going to open up a corporation or help you in a transaction and to do the things. But I think it's my ethical responsibility first to see whether or not this is a great idea for you. And if it is, I would love the honor and privilege of working with you. But the way I like to build a relationship is in integrity and complete transparency. So if any of that makes sense, I'm the right person for you. And if not, I completely understand. I don't want to dampen your dream at all. I'm very excited for you if it's the right fit. So how does that feel for you, Joe?
I was hoping for some more nut and bolt advice.
Okay, so tell me, what would you like to ask me?
Well, I don't know whether I should do a corporation or go in as a partnership, or I need to know the entity. I need to know, how do I protect myself with employees? I need to know how to handle lease negotiations and things like that, practical things.
Yeah, every single one of those things, Joe, I've handled 100 times or more. Some of those things I've handled more than 500 times. Those are very simple, effective things to do. And I have a few more questions, and I will a short window, like, are you buying this business? Are you starting it from scratch? So yeah, by the way, are you buying it, or are you starting this just on your own?
Buying it.
Beautiful. And so we have an entire mechanism that we take you through in doing the due diligence. We want to support you in looking at books and records. Have you done any of that yet? Have you actually seen the books from their accountants?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm making heads or tails of them, but.
Yeah, so we would love to sit down and talk to you about that, and to see whether or not they're reporting things appropriately. There's also considerations about how they treat cash in a hair salon, and whether or not there could be IRS liens on the business, on the property, et cetera. So this is more like a probably 60-minute conversation, quite frankly. And I know I said 30 originally. I'd be happy to sit down and give you all the nuts and bolts advice at the end of it to see if it still makes sense to buy the business. If it does, we're your people. You're not going to find somebody who's done much more of this small business transactions than we will. And if we sit down together, I'd be happy to answer every question you have. How does that feel for you, Joe?
Good. Good opportunity.
All right, awesome. So we'll sit down, blah, blah, blah. All right, Howard, how did that feel for you? Is that what you do for people?
Well, I give free consultations. I don't bill for telephone time. And 90% of my clients are referred by other clients. So it's more a question of, yeah, let's work out a time to sit down and meet and exactly, go through some of the things that you mentioned. I don't have to do the selling part on the initial phone call. What I need to do is to get the hookup, the time, and then have them come in and quote impress them, if you will, with the questions that I ask and the interest that I show and who I am as a person, which I don't know how much comes across on a telephone call.
Of course. And so just for everybody's clarity, the work that we're talking about here in the power of influence is not just about selling, right? It's about creating relationship. It's about marketing, scaling, building. And so Howard, I have no question that you are a master at what you do. And we thank you for your time and being here today.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It was fun.
Thank you.
Let's go with Frank.
Frank, thank you for being here. Appreciate you enormously. And how was your experience today, Frank?
Thanks for having me. It was very insightful, very interesting and insightful. It's good to see the different ways of getting past the no to get to a yes. I think probably the most insightful thing is the conversational style and conversational language I noticed that you use quite a bit. It's a bit of misdirection. Folks are expecting a hard sell call and you're just having a conversation and trying to build a relationship like you said. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate it very much. And I would offer the micro distinction that at Unblinded, we teach and share that you're disrupting people's fear and uncertainty so that every human being we approach is like a deer. So it's not misdirection, at least from our perspective, it's a perspective of causing people to feel safe. It's only misdirection if you can't deliver on the services. So somebody like Frank or Connor and representing Brian, the work that they do, these fine folks, provided that they can really deliver what they're sharing. The biggest challenge is to have people in a world that we are bombarded by messaging to actually be able to pause somebody, to open their listening so we can actually share the truth of the brilliance of our services and what we're able to do for people. So, but again, thank you, Frank.
I like that distinction.
Thank you.
Last but not least, Mr. Anthony.
Anthony, thank you for being here. Appreciate your straight to the pointness. and all the fun. And how was your time with us?
It's good. It's good. I laugh. Listen to your approach. You'd be good for my hacking company as a social engineer tricking someone. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Just you have a very good good way of switching personas. So that's in our world, that's very valuable.
Yeah, appreciate it. And I think what we call it is matching and mirroring, the ability to speak into the listening of people, right? So what we teach is that in every way, I've had the privilege of the top 100 national jury verdicts. I built a 125 person law firm, which I currently own. I've broken sales records on some of the largest personal development stages in the world, like Tony Robbins, not for money, because his work has impacted my life in extraordinary ways. We've raised millions of dollars for charity, and depending upon the audience and conversation you're having, we just came back from Ukraine. We were in Kyiv the day that 5 missiles hit. And there, we're now raising money for some of the people from the US that are volunteering, former special forces folks. And in all these different dynamics and people you're speaking to, whether it's a homeless person, somebody working in a soup kitchen, to a billionaire, professional athlete, everybody in every walk of life and mechanism, they all speak in different language with different energy and different approaches, same concept of how do you meet people where they are, open up their listening so you can deliver the truth. So again, Anthony, thank you so much for being here today and for your insights, energy, and contributions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bella, final.
Final is, really, truly thank you all for being here. It was an absolutely extraordinary show. Who's here really makes it the show. So make sure, you connect with each other. We're going to invite everybody back on a Monday night so you can even connect deeper. And, because it is all about the heart of influence. Tony Robbins said that there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callaghan. And there is an integrous way to open doors and gates and get the yeses. And that's what our work is all about here. So I hope to see you back on a Monday night.
Absolutely. And we'll be here on June 22nd. On a legally unblinded night with a lot of folks that work in and around the legal world. Hope to see you there. If not, God bless. We hope massive acceleration and success for whatever you dream about, because I am physically blind, but I think like all the things we want are right there in front of us. But sometimes we're all blind.
And just learning to see. Yeah. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for being here.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone.